Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Two of the most prolific offenses in the NFL will be on display in today's game. Both teams rank in the top 10 in total yards. The Cowboys are number 1 in total yards and are going up against the Seahawks defense that will need to be at the top of its game. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Guyton, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. And
my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards right off the bat and a quick first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Irving, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He finds his man, Baldwin, and he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. The numbers for Rawls from a week ago. 22 carries, 96 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
On 2nd down, Rawls. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
Well, I know one thing. In baseball, you want to have your closer, right, to finish off games. How about finishing off a season? Last week, Week 16, he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week as he looks forward to this one here to close out the year.
And, of course, he'll have the playoffs to look forward to. Already clinched a berth there, but indeed a great Week 16. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
2nd down, Rivers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Rivers completes it to the rookie from North Carolina, Ryan Switzer. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depends on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. He used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
2nd down following the run. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 3-all the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff as they take over here 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They run with a power back. Rawls. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned a ballet score. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Wilson on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be third down. And the Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Wilson again to Rolls. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Rivers now to throw on first down. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Rivers on first down. Funches with a catch over the middle. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Rivers now on second down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Ryan Switzer, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it third down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run with Thompson. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 33. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both the Cowboys and the Seahawks are not doing much on the ground, and it's easy to see why that would play into this low-scoring game. We'll have to see if either team gets it going on the ground in the second half. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Seahawks on their opening drive. Middle of the field, Wilson finding his mark, and he'll be tackled at the 31-yard line. They go on to kick a field goal to end the drive. Midway through the first quarter, the connection is made in the middle of the field, and he'll be tackled at their own 48-yard line. Later on the drive, they stall out and settle for a field goal. Late in the second, Rivers is going to complete the pass, and he'll end up at their own 40-yard line before being tackled. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to Arlington for the start of the second half.
Okay, Larry, thank you. No touchdowns in our first half. What will we see in half number 2? Time to find out. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to churn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
On third down, Rivers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. A first down throw here for Rivers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and now it's second down.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength. And he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he? No. Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. From the gun, Rivers. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Down at the 2. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, the flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Airing one deep for Curse. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll run with Rawls. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. David Irving in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Abdullah. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Malik McDowell in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. For the offense lining up 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And on 2nd and 10 now. From the shotgun, Wilson. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Fresh set of downs here. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Here we go.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Now he'll go deep down the middle. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And the numbers show the improvement. And this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're in the NFL too for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
To throw on second down, Rivers. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. The Cowboys on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Rivers. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Again to Elliott. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they just
touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught outright by Graham. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They set up the screen to Rawls. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They get 25 yards out of that one. And it's good enough for a Seattle 1st. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And this is caught by Kearse. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Amara Darboh, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They'll look to throw, and he finds Jimmy Graham. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Back to throw. Going to Rawls on the dump off. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard at the 5-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams know